The Denver Nuggets have made a sneaky good signing for this team that is going to have huge implications on more decisions going forwards with the team, as the Nuggets are now known to be not done in free agency, and it is very clear what they will be going for next in regards to the position that they need and some of the names that the Nuggets are known to have some serious interest in. And we're going to discuss all of this, as there is a lot to go over for the Denver Nuggets right now. And guys, before we do that, make sure to subscribe to Nuggets Digest if you are part of that 81% that's not subscribed. We have daily Denver Nuggets updates that are coming out all the time, and with the season ramping up, there's going to be so much to talk about that you guys do not want to miss out on. But with all that being said, let's jump into it. Again, there's a lot to go over, as the Denver Nuggets did recently make a very sneaky good signing. This is a very under the radar move that fans are loving right now, as there is no reason to not like what they just did, as the Nuggets have added on a great talent onto this team, as seen right here. It was revealed by Michael Scotto a couple days ago that the Denver Nuggets and forward Kesler Edwards have agreed to a deal, league sources told Hoops Hype. Edwards averaged 4.2 points on 49.6% shooting from the field and 40.7% from three in 40 games played, including 18 starts for the Dallas Mavericks last season. After leaving the G League, Kesler Edwards played 15 minutes per game for Dallas, averaging 4.2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, playing some solid defense, and shot 40% from three. Edwards just turned 25 years old and has had a very interesting NBA career up to this point. He's bounced around a little bit between a couple different teams, and now we're seeing him really step into his own with the Dallas Mavericks. But then he did not get re-signed, mainly because the Mavs, they just didn't have the money to do it. They liked Edwards a lot, but could not afford to keep him around. Edwards has bounced around, as we could see here, throughout his career. I mean, he started out with the Brooklyn Nets, putting up 6 points per game in his rookie season in the 2021-22 campaign, before the following year getting traded from Brooklyn after not really playing to the Sacramento Kings, where he got some more minutes and actually did show something. But then once again, after a second season with the Kings, he ended up losing his role there completely and found himself in the G League, where the Mavericks picked him up and he played his best basketball in the NBA. Now, going into this season with the Denver Nuggets, we are going to see what Kesler Edwards can bring to the table, but first, he's going to have to show that in training camp. That's going to be one of the huge things here. We're going to have to see exactly what is going down with Kesler Edwards and where his future lies for this Denver Nuggets team. As in another update regarding Edwards, what we know is that the Denver Nuggets have signed Kesler Edwards to an Exhibit 10 contract. Denver still has one standard spot available to use, and there has been a lot of debate on who that signing is going to be. Now, there's been a couple names that have come up, and it is going to be fully based off the Nuggets and what they want to do with their depth chart before signing Edwards, and even after, considering the fact that he is an Exhibit 10 contract, which is essentially, in case you guys don't know what an Exhibit 10 contract is, real quick, effectively what it is you get signed to a deal, you're there for training camp, and if you get waived by the team, you do end up on their G League roster. There's a difference between Exhibit 9 and Exhibit 10. There's a little bit of a difference. The Exhibit 9 contract means you are eligible for a two-way deal. So there's that. I did get that backwards, though. An Exhibit 10 means you are eligible for a two-way contract. An Exhibit 9 means you've played too much time in the NBA to be getting a two-way deal, so you will just get moved to the G League unless you decline that, and you can become an unrestricted free agent again once after that. But with Edwards, he's on an Exhibit 10, so the Nuggets could look at him for potential two-way spots down the line, as well, as he has not played enough in the NBA, but he's right on that cusp. So it is going to be interesting to see how the Nuggets do go about that. But when we look at the Nuggets depth chart, we see that, I mean, you have the starting lineup that we know. Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, and Jokić. We know that. And now the bench has gotten a lot better. You do have Peyton Watson still there. He's back. Bruce Brown makes his return to Denver on a minimum deal. Julian Strawther has shown a lot, while Tim Hardaway Jr. adds another veteran presence there. You do have Pickett and Beekman behind Jamal Murray. And obviously, with the point guard situation, having Jokić there does help. The big man depth is insane. Outside of Jokić, you have Jonas Valanciunas, who is going to be sticking around in the NBA, as the Nuggets made sure of that. And then Deron Holmes, who is now back from injury and will play in his rookie season now. So there is a lot to like with this lineup, but when you see, or when you look at the depth chart, there is a clear answer for what you do for that final spot, and it's you go for another point guard. The Nuggets, outside of Jokić and Murray, are very low on playmakers. I mean, Bruce Brown can step in and handle the role, especially if Jokić is on the floor, but at the same time, you should look for another guy to really go out there and help out with. And I mean, One of the first guys that is going to come to mind is Russell Westbrook after having a solid year in Denver last year. He put up 13 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. He shot 45% from the field and 32% from 3, including 44% on those corner threes as well. Russell Westbrook had a good season with Denver and definitely will be one of the guys who the Nuggets will look at for that final deal. I know it seems more likely that he will be leaving the Nuggets, but as long as he is a free agent, there is going to be that thought process there that he could stick around. Meanwhile, there's also Ben Simmons. Simmons, although polarizing, feels like he would fit well with the Nuggets, and probably better with the Nuggets than anyone else, considering the Nuggets' big men are Jokić and Valanciunas, two guys who can space the floor. So it would give Ben Simmons more room to work, and also the idea of Ben Simmons and Jokić out there with that big man playmaking skill together would be fun in theory. Now it comes down to, is Ben even going to look at the rim? Is he going to be at all impactful? That's the big question that you do have to ask yourself going into this. I mean, he put up 5 points per game last year, 5 rebounds and 5.5 assists between the Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Clippers. He shot 52% from the field and is still a very positive defender. I mean, his defensive box plus minus was a 1.8. He had a positive value over replacement player. So Ben Simmons is still a solid player when it comes to the defense, when it comes to the playmaking. But the matter is, because he doesn't look at the rim or really ever shoot the ball, it does make things really tough to sort of gauge and figure out what he's going to be in his next season. And I think it depends on his team. Now, you also find a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, who put up 13 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. He shot 43% from the field and one of his worst marks ever from 3 at 28%. But I feel like with Denver, that'll go up. I feel like really with anyone, that'll go up for Malcolm Brogdon. It was just a down year. The Washington Wizards, although under good management, are still struggling mightily. So that does play part of it, or it does play a part into this. And at the same time, what we see from Malcolm Brogdon is a guy who certainly has shown a lot of potential to really be a very important player on championship teams. We've seen him be a huge part on successful teams before with the Boston Celtics and stuff like that, and the Milwaukee Bucks at a point. But when it comes down to it, Malcolm Brogdon, I think, would be the perfect fit for the Denver Nuggets here. He would be my pick if you ask me today who I want to see the Nuggets go after. I would pick Malcolm Brogdon. We see the available free agents. I mean, Josh Giddey, Cam Thomas, Jonathan Kuminga, Quentin Grimes, they're the top free agents, but they're all restricted. They're all going to end up going back to their teams in one way or another. Meanwhile, you then see Brogdon, Russell Westbrook, Al Horford, Gary Payton, Ben Simmons, Precious Achiuwa, Amir Coffey, Alec Burks, Seth Curry, Bol Bol, and Malik Beasley. I think Seth Curry is a little bit of a fun idea as well, along with Alec Burks, who has played a bit of point guard, and Gary Payton II does give you some more defense. But to me, I think Malcolm Brogdon's the guy. He's a positive defender. He gives you everything that you could possibly want. And on top of that, he's just a veteran who's a smart player and is a true point guard. He adds more playmaking onto this team with a good scoring ability and solid defense as well, while being a heads-up guy. This, to me, feels like the right move if you're going to go out there and add another guard onto this team. To me, it feels like Malcolm Brogdon's the perfect fit. I understand the interest in Simmons. I get it. But I think right now what makes the most sense for the Nuggets would be, after bringing on Kesler Edwards, to go out there and bring in Malcolm Brogdon. I think it just works. I mean, when you look at the Nuggets cap table, they do have enough money to sign another free agent, so they definitely will. It's just a matter of who it is. Who do you guys want it to be? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. I will catch you on the next one.